of 2 Corinthians chapter 1, we see that there is a colon at the end of dead. It goes on to let us know that it is Yahweh who is delivering us from so great a death. I mean, there has never been a death like this upon the black man of America. What is so different that it's called a great death? It's not a normal death, but a great death. Now, normally we would think that just death is death. Then when you go to the cemetery, you don't see any difference in dead bodies. But the fact that this is a spiritual death and a mental death is referred to here as a great death. And yet, Yahweh is able to deliver us from this death. And does deliver. He has delivered us. He's the one who will deliver us and does deliver in the present tense. So this is the one, Yahweh, in whom we trust that he will yet deliver all of us, the rest of us, our whole people. The fact that he has done it with his son, Yuhe Wahe Ben Yuhe Wahe, then I am proof positive, after having raised you who are under the sound of my voice from your graves. My Father, Yuhe Wahe, gave me the power to raise you. He demonstrated his power in raising me. I demonstrate my power in raising you. That proves that my Father and I are one. We are one, of one spirit. Also here, in verse 11, we also are helping together by prayer for us, that for the gift bestowed upon us by the means of many persons, thanks may be given by many on our behalf. So, in verse 12 is important. For our rejoicing is this, the testimony of our conscience, that in simplicity and godly sincerity, not with fleshly wisdom, but by the grace of Yahweh. Now, I gave you in our last feast about me giving out my grace. It's by my grace that you are saved. It is by my grace that you are delivered. It is by my grace that you're saved from such a great death as you have experienced. It's by the grace of Yahweh that we are experiencing our dry bones coming together. So let's go back to John chapter 5, verse 21 for a moment. St. John chapter 5, verse 21. Give you a chance, you who have Bibles, to find it. John chapter 5, verse 21. So you should have it by now. And it says, for as the Father raises up the dead and gives back life to them, even so the Son quickeneth whom he will. That's the tie-in to your sentence. So once again, it's tied to the Father and the Son that you are raised from the dead. That's the secret of Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 3. Now that's not the only secret, but that is certainly a part of it that I want to share with you tonight in this class. Now let us move to the next verse, Ezekiel 37, verse 4. Again, Yahweh has said unto me, my Father, to prophesy unto you as the bones, and to say unto you that you must hear the word of the Lord Yahweh. I am preaching to you that you must hear the word of the Lord Yahweh, There is no salvation in any other name but Yahweh. And it's in the power of the name. No one can argue with this as you study Yahweh. As you begin to study the Hebrew, get a Hebrew dictionary. Use your Strong's Exhaustive Concordance Dictionary in Hebrew. And this is one of the most important tools that you have not been using over the years, is a Hebrew dictionary for these words that you are reading and studying about in each verse. So again, I say to you that you are to hear the word of the Lord Yahweh. That's a command. And those that love the Yahweh, the Lord Yahweh, keep his commandments. See, that's written. If you love me, keep my commandments. John chapter 14, verse 15. Let's turn to that. John 14 and verse 15. I'm sure you've read it many, many, many times. If you love me, keep my commandments. Now let's go to John chapter 5, verse 3. Book of John. Did I tell you? 5:23. Okay, I said John chapter 5, verse 3. John chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of Yahweh, that we keep his commandments. And his commandments are not burdensome. They are not grievous. They do not cause you to grieve, nor are they a burden. So we are to keep his commandments if we love him. And there is a commandment here that we are to hear the words of the Lord Yahweh, who has the power to let you off of your sentence and cut your sentence short and let you live. Now let us go to verse 5, Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 5. I'm sure that your pens and pencils are busy and you're enjoying going back and forth in the Word tonight. This is the way I taught from the beginning. I taught from house to house, and we had our Bibles, pens, and notebooks, and we studied together. And that's what you're back to. If you ever left it, if you're new, welcome. Ezekiel 37, verse 5. Thus says the Lord God Yahweh unto you who are called bones, I will cause breath to enter into you, and you shall live. That's not maybe you shall live. Don't wonder if you are going to live. I will cause you. I will cause you to live. This is a positive affirmation. When we pray to Yahweh, he's different from other gods. We don't beg him. He speaks affirmatively. There is no doubt about what Yahweh will do. As his son, I'm telling you emphatically what I am going to do. There is no doubt about this. I am ordered to prophesy to you, and I am prophesying to you. I will cause breath to enter into you, and you shall live. Let's turn to the book of Psalms, chapter 104, verse 1. 104, verse 1. The book of Psalms, 104, verse 1. Turn to that right here. Let me read. Everybody should have it by now. Bless the Lord Yahweh, O my soul. O Lord Yahweh, my God, thou art very great. Thou art clothed with honor and majesty. Thou art clothed with honor and majesty. here we are to ask Yahweh to what? First of all, we are ordered to bless the Lord Yahweh. Now you might say, well, how in the world or why or would I bless Yahweh? How in the world could I do that? That means bless his name. You certainly don't need to bless his person. But this tells you something, that you have the power to bless. The only reason that you are unaware that you have the power to bless is you are dead. The sentence of death is operating in you. Once you come out from under the sentence of death and live, then you have the same power that Isaac had to bless. You see, Isaac had the power to bless his son, and he intended to bless who? Esau. And his power to bless is so powerful that though he did not know it was Esau, he blessed Jacob because he was blind and couldn't see who he had intended to bless. But yet the blessing held and is in effect until this day because he had the power to bless. You see, our forefathers had the power to bless because the sentence of death was not as strong upon them. And they understood that. But you've lost that knowledge entirely, that you have the power to bless. I'm bringing you back to that knowledge now. You have power with Yahweh and with man when you have come from under the sentence of death. So the fact that it was demonstrated in Genesis chapter 27, verse 33, it says here that, and Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, Who? Where is he that hath taken venison and brought it to me? And I have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed him? Yea, and he shall be blessed. See, there was no doubt in Isaac's mind about first that he could bless, and then after he blessed, he said, indeed the blessing cannot be taken back. It's binding. So, in using my name, he was able to bless. But then he had a question. That who only means that he had a question. He was suspicious of who it was because he really wanted to bless Esau, and he really secretly realized after he had blessed Jacob that that's what had happened. So he raised this question, who? He said, but the blessing remains because it has come out of my mouth. So, again, we are ordered here to come from under the sentence of death. I'm revealing this out, that you have the power to bless the Lord Yahweh from your soul. Your soul, that's where the blessing comes from. Your soul. When you are a living soul, you have the power to bless the Lord Yahweh. You have the power to bless your children. You have the power to bless others. And I must warn you, you also have the power to curse. You have the power to curse. Genesis chapter 12, verse 3 tells us that our Father Yahweh will bless those that bless us and curse those that curse us. So you have the power to do both. And when you become the sons and the daughters of Yahweh, you gain this power by coming from under the sentence of death. What a glory to learn this kind of wisdom. So I'm showing you where your blessing comes from and where it's issued from. It's issued from your soul. And then it tells you, O Lord Yahweh, my God, you are very great. And it goes on to let you know that you are clothed with honor and majesty. This means, this requires knowledge to understand that Yuhei is clothed with honor and with majesty. Now, see the secret here, let's take a look at honor and let's take a look at majesty. Because you are not alive until you understand several things. Number one, The purpose of your resurrection is to understand that you are the sons and daughters of Yahweh. And as the sons of Yahweh, then you carry his genes and chromosomes. And in carrying Yahweh genes and chromosomes, then you have the propensity to be perfect as he is perfect, to demonstrate the same powers that he demonstrates, to have the identical characteristics that Yuhewate has. That's your inheritance. That's your blessing. So now, let's look at honor. It means that when you bless him, you know that he's great. So Yahweh has esteem. So you're supposed to be a people of high esteem, of consideration. You're to be a people of great respect. You are to be a people of great repute and great reputation. Not an immoral reputation, but a great reputation. You are to have a great good name. You are to have a great good report. Not an ordinary report, but you are to be of great distinction, of great notability. Yahweh is great in eminence. He's the greatest eminence. So you are to be greatly eminent. You are supposed to demonstrate great prestige, great influence. Not talking about being a minority. It's a disgrace for the world to know that you are the gods of this planet. And you're walking around calling yourself a minority. If there were only one of you, I know just the fact that there's one of you conscious and living in the name Yuhewate, you understand you are the majority, though you are one person. Because all things come from Yuhewate, and when you stand in the name of Yuhewate, then you stand with the characteristics of the Father. And the fact that there's a whole nation of us, or the fact that 144,000 of will be coming forward with these characteristics, can you imagine how great we are and how great we will be in the sight of the people of this earth? We are to be great in authority. You are walking around on this earth without authority. You're walking around on this earth begging people to give you authority to do something. But I will cause you to rise from your graves and exercise great authority. You shall have great esteem. You shall be regarded greatly. You shall be of great respect. I am going to cause you to be of great repute. I am going to cause you to be of a great reputation. I will cause you to have a good name in the earth. I will cause you to have a good report in the earth. And I will cause you to be of great distinction in the earth. Notice, I have changed gears on you from you should to you shall. Because when we went back to Ezekiel chapter 37 verse 4, you notice that in prophesying to you, I'm to let you know what you shall be as opposed to what you should be. Because all of your life, you have false leaders, unenlightened leaders, who are telling you you should do this, that, and the other. They're always telling you what's wrong, telling you about the problems, and what you need to do, but no one is showing you how to do. When I say that you shall do this, it means I carry within me the power to cause it. Praise Yahweh. I have the power within myself to cause you to have great fame. I shall cause you to become illustrious and to have great glory and great exaltation among the people of the earth. How do I know? Because righteousness exalts a nation. According to Psalms chapter 14, verse 4, or at least look it up. Look it up. It may be in the book of Proverbs. Just look it up. At any rate, I'm going to cause you to have great exaltation because I'm bringing you the perfect moral message of righteousness. Also, I'm going to cause you to be a people of honesty, an honest people. You shall be known all over the earth as an honest people. Without the knowledge of Yahweh, we have a reputation around the earth of being a dishonest people, of being liars and thieves and robbers and muggers and just a people of ill repute. That's our reputation around the planet Earth. And all people are warned to stay away from us and stay away from our neighborhoods because that's the mark we carry as a people. I am here to raise you up from this death sentence that you're carrying in yourself and cause you to become an honest people. I am here to cause you, and you shall become a people of integrity. You shall become a people of probity, a people who are known to be upright, an upright people, a rectitudinal people. I am going to cause you to actually become a people known to stand on the square of righteousness. I am going to cause you to be known all over this earth as a people of truth, a truthful people. Can you imagine how many people on the earth are going to be honored to be in your presence? The black man of America is known to be the opposite of truth. Yes, I'm going to cause you to be known for your truthfulness. I'm going to cause you to be known for your veracity and straightforwardness. We as a people have taken on the characteristics of the serpent whom we've been deceived by, and we're known for our crookedness as a people. Also, I'm going to cause you to become a forthright people. You will be known for your justice and your justness. All of your decisions will be just decisions. Everybody on earth are going to seek you to be the judges of the planet. The corrupt judges, such as are being experienced all over the earth for taking bribes and being corrupt and evil in office. Who wants those kind of judges over their affairs? That's what's wrong with the world, is corrupt judges. But now is not the time to be concerned about the corrupt judges. The time is now that we should be concerned about ourselves becoming just. And when we become just, then you will become a just judge. And I'm here to cause that. And when I say cause it, it means, first of all, I'm now calling it to your attention. And then after I call it to your attention, I will manifest it in your actions. Now, I have only about 2 minutes left in this lesson for you tonight. And at first I thought I would have great difficulty in speaking to you for 30 minutes. That is funny because I have always talked to you for hours. And I'm praying that those around me here in this prison will remind me of where I'm coming from tonight, and so that I can resume this class on tomorrow night. And of course, I think I stopped on justice. I really stopped on justness and justice. And I would like to start there tomorrow night. And of course, I was at Psalms chapter 104, verse 1. Coming, of course, I hope they write that down for me, that we're going to return to the book of Psalms, chapter 104, verse 1, where I will finish giving you the information on being on your honor and majesty, and of course understanding that we came from the book of Ezekiel, chapter 37, and we're still in verse 4, where I am bringing you a prophecy, and understand that this prophecy is a positive affirmation. It is not maybe I will do this, maybe I will cause this, or maybe Yuhei Wahe will cause this, maybe Yuhei Wahe Bane, Yuhei Wahe will cause this. There's no doubt about it. I shall cause this to happen in your life and in the lives of these jawbones here in the valley known as America. I think you should find this extremely exciting. I do. Looking into the mystery of Ezekiel chapter 37. You've never looked at it like this before in your life, and you've read it many times. I certainly have gone over this particular chapter with you over the years, and you've never seen it like this or understood it like this. And it's a thrill to me to cause you to be able to see with new eyes. Where you were blind, you can now see. Also, I would like to call to your attention the storms that have been raking America. I'm sure that you have been hearing about what's happening with Yahweh using nature to retaliate against America's persecution in holding me. My crucifixion. Yahweh is destroying this country all over, and at this point I won't try to reiterate all of the storms, but I'm sure the areas that you've come from, you're aware that Yahweh has just moved all over this country, and right now 5 states are on fire. Also, a severe thunderstorm front moved from Texas all the way up to Detroit and Chicago, in that area. Simultaneously, the entire section of country was under severe thunderstorms and lightning. Also, 80-degree weather in the front of this front, and hurricane force winds over 75 miles per hour in the middle, with rain and floods, followed by snow and ice. And up north is snow and ice storms, and snowstorms out in the Rockies and other areas. It's just a destruction. We had something similar to a hurricane from here in Florida all the way up to Maine, and Yahweh got after President Bush, destroyed his home up there, multi-million-dollar home. He had 2,700 multi-million-dollar homes destroyed by fire out there in California. And it's just, I warned this country that if this government put their hands on me, they will find out that Yahweh controls nature. Again, I want you to know this has been a pleasure, a joy, and a thrill for me to speak with you tonight. And since I've had the joy and the thrill of speaking an hour instead of 30 minutes, then I guess I do have an awful lot to share with you, and I will be sharing this on tomorrow night. Again, welcome to Feast of Tabernacles 1991 at the fabulous Barclay Hotel, Atlanta's most convenient address. I hope you're enjoying the Celebrity Cafe, where stars love to meet to eat. It has certainly been a thrill and a joy to talk to you from Metropolitan Correctional Center here in Miami, Florida, where there are many people from different nations and different countries who are suffering pretrial detention, unjust sentences. We have people who are from different countries who have served their sentences and are still being held in the prison in this country for slave labor. They have industries called Unicorn, where they're working people as slaves for 11 cents an hour. This is a crime to have modern slavery going on, but they're well experienced at that, having kept our people, the black men, in slavery here for 400 years, these last 436 years. They are very skilled at bringing people from other countries and doing the same. Once again, I'm here and been anointed by Yahweh to open the prisons. So when Yahweh takes me out of this prison, I will come back and open up all the prisons of America and let the various people who want to leave this country go back home and be free and live in a free world. Now, I'm not just going to free the people in this country, but the prisons all over the planet Earth, so that all men can live in peace and happiness and the pursuit of joy and happiness on this planet Earth. Again, know that I love you eternally, and remember these words: by this shall all men know that you are my disciples, when you show love one to the other. And remember, no murderer can go to heaven, and if you hate your brother, you're considered a murderer. And also remember that how can a man say that he loves God, whom he's never seen, hate his brother, whom he sees every day? You must show love one to the other, as I have shown love to you. Again, I love you, and I even hate to get off the phone at this time, but I must. I love you, and I'll see you on tomorrow night. Neaho, Aniyahov. And remember, Kazak Ve'imat. Be of strong courage. Again, Shalom Aleichem.